Foundation, and for the past 31 years, they've granted life-changing wishes for our island's children. Wishes that have brought joy, hope, and treasured memories to critically ill children and their families. Now, on Saturday, the annual Black Tie N Tennies Gala will be held at the Hyatt Regency Guam. And joining me now, of course, from Make-A-Wish Foundation, the president, Mr. Eric Tadenko, and Mr. Mike Bartels. And Eric, I guess right off the bat, let's just talk about Mike and his journey back here to Guam, which is quite an amazing story.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for having us here. Mike Bartels is the second ever wish recipient for our chapter, and he got his wish back in 1988. I'll let him tell that story, but finding him to come out here was quite the adventure for me, because last year when we were celebrating our 30th anniversary, I happened to interview the very first executive director of Make-A-Wish, Sylvia Flores. And she had mentioned that she had run into Mike Bartels, one of our first wish kids, his mom said he's doing really well, and that intrigued me because that meant that he was still around, and I wanted to find him. And I searched; he's really off the grid. I couldn't find. He's not on Facebook, and so I did happen to find a Bartels on Facebook, which ended up being his sister.
Wow!
But that's how it wasn't really through his sister, but through another mutual friend, and so. I met him in March on my way back from a conference, and I stopped in Hawaii, and I spoke with Mike, and we met, and I invited him out here to our gala as a special guest.
Right. Mike, just take us back, if you can, to that wish granting. What was that like?
Yes, it's something that I will remember for the rest of my life. 1988, I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I was at Kapiolani Medical Center out in Honolulu, Hawaii. And I remember one day the nurse mentioned to me that a lady from the Make-A-Wish Foundation was coming. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know who that was. And then in comes Sylvia Cochran at the time, now Sylvia Flores, who Eric referred to. And she explained to me who the Make-A-Wish Foundation was and said, "Hey, Mike, I want you to think about something that you want to wish about, something that you want." And so I didn't know how to take that at the time, didn't know it was for real, was trying to cheer me up. But she asked me to think about it. 2 days later, in comes the wonderful late Lieutenant Governor Frank Blas, and wonderful man. He came in, and we were just surprised to see him there. And he says, "Hey, Mike, what is it you want to wish for?" And it just so happened I've been using an Apple computer in the room at the time. I looked over, I've always wanted one, and I said, "Sir, I want an Apple computer." And he says, "Mike, wish granted." 2 days later, I got a pass out of the hospital. I was taken from Kapiolani Medical Center down to a computer store in downtown Ala Moana Boulevard, Micro Age Computing. And he got me in the store before it even opened, and it says, "Pick what you want," and the rest was history.
Wow. I mean, goosebumps just all around it. And you're able to beat the cancer.
Yes, I went into remission, and then I decided to continue on with school. I majored in music. I have a double master's in music, and then the next thing I did was join the Air Force. I'm in 15 years now in the Air Force. Yeah.
Which is why we couldn't find you on Facebook, because you do top secret work, right?
Yeah,
sure, I can
does.
confirm or deny that.
He actually does, okay.
Yeah.
And so what's it feel like for you to be back on Guam? I mean, how long since you've been here?
Actually, I came back last year. My mom also went through cancer last year. She's doing very well. Just like she brought me to the finish line, I told her I would bring her back to the finish line. She's doing well. Then I met Eric back in March, and he started talking about the Make-A-Wish Foundation here again, and I was very excited. Then he made the offer, "Hey, Mike, you want to come out to our gala?" And I said, "Absolutely, I'll do whatever I can to make it out there." And through him and the board and the awesome people at United, I'm here today.
Right, and obviously you can attest firsthand to the important services that Make-A-Wish Foundation grants.
Absolutely. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation takes a tough issue, whether it be a cancer or whatever the child is going through, but also the family. So I could tell you from personal experience that wish not only uplifted me, but it uplifted my mother and my father, my family. So it brought joy to a situation where that wasn't present.
Right, and so Eric, these wishes don't come free, and so this is a kind of a big fundraiser, big fundraiser for you guys.
This is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and so as Mike said, you know, we want to grant more wishes. We feel we're in a position where we average about one wish a month, but we feel that there's other kids that we haven't reached yet. So being on a show like yours is a form of outreach, so that hopefully there's other kids and families out there to say, oh, maybe my child is eligible. And I want to clarify that eligibility does not mean a terminal illness. It means a child with a critical illness. So there's a differentiating factor there. And a lot of people get put off by that because they feel, my child's not dying, right? And they can either do two things. They can either react really negatively to that, somebody suggesting that their child may qualify, or they can say, okay, you know, this could be something good that my child needs. And so we encourage people that if they think that their child may qualify, to contact their physician and then to refer them to us, and then we can hopefully go through the process and they can have their wish granted for their child. But our fundraiser this Saturday is very important because that's how we grant the wishes. Our sponsors help us do this, and we couldn't do it without them.
Right, and so I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's you know, one of the must-go-to events of the year. Let's talk about. Everybody wants to give it to Make-A-Wish Foundation, but you guys also make it a great time. So let's talk about what do you got lined up for us?
So our sub-theme is always Black Tie N Tennies. So it's a formal affair, but we like to make sure that the kids that are in attendance feel comfortable.
Right.
And so we encourage all the guests there to wear tennis shoes along with their tuxes, along with their fancy gowns that they're wearing, and to really kind of be at one with the kids that might be in attendance there. It makes it fun too, and it differentiates us from all the other galas that are out there. We've got some good music entertainment, local musicians. Melody Bell will be playing during the dinner set, and then we have an ensemble of some of Guam's top musicians putting on a nice dance set for us.
Right, and so last minute ticket information?
Well, we've got very few, but if people want to contact us, and we may look and see if we have any, but they can contact us at gala@guam.wish.org.
Right, and Michael, thank you so much. Really inspirational story, and
appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, I'm pretty sure those kids are going to look at you and you know, just see a happy ending, and I'm glad it worked out for you.
Sure, thank you.
Right. Okay, Eric, thanks. All right, see you guys.